Sudan has been in a full-on civil war for the last 2.5 years, since April 2023. The war started in Khartoum. It spread very quickly to Darfur. After that, it spread throughout the country, and it essentially has divided the country into two areas of control. So you have, on the one hand, the Sudanese Armed Forces, which is the national army. And this is headed by somebody called al-Fashir al-Burhan. He has been in power for several years since the former president of Sudan, al-Bashir, was ousted from power in 2019. On the other side, there is the Rapid Support Forces, or the RSF, who is headed by Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, nicknamed Hemeti. His group was actually created under Omar al-Bashir's time and used to help Bashir fight against insurgencies. So now we have the RSF, created by the SAF, is now fighting against the SAF. The Rapid Support Force, they now control all of Darfur and finally took over al-Fashir town, which was the last stronghold of the Sudanese armed forces. And so that battle basically consolidated control. Now we see a division scenario, just like Libya, where there are parallel governments. The way in which the RSF takes territory has always included a huge amount of violence against civilians. And indeed, they again committed mass atrocities, killing thousands potentially in al-Fashir. And there are still tens of thousands of people believed to be still in al-Fashir, not able to escape. It was viewable from outer space even, because the satellite technology is such that groups are reporting almost in real time on what's happening. And yet the governments of the world have failed to do anything to stop the carnage. All of the tools in the toolbox, so to speak, don't seem to be working. And this is largely because of geopolitics and various political interests that are at stake. It seems that no amount of pressure is making a difference on the RSF. The countries that are supporting the RSF are not that interested in ending the atrocities or in ending the war. Sudan is being ravaged by countries interested in gold. Of course, we know the history of oil in Sudan. The United Arab Emirates has been named as the main supporter of the RSF, and most of the world's countries in the West, they're not willing to sever their relationship with the UAE. There were supposed to be talks before the latest surge of violence in al-Fashir. And now, again, they're saying, yes, we are going to have peace talks. Whether anything develops is another question completely. We've just seen these talks sort of be percolating. And since the beginning of the war, none of them has brought enough traction to really make the parties stop. The international community can do more to stop the war in Sudan. First, the international actors involved in Sudan need to make sure that the malign external actors who are currently fueling the war stop their support to and their flow of weapons into Sudan. This external support is what has kept the war going for so long. The UN, the EU, and the AU should use all the tools at their disposal, including sanctions on those responsible for the mass atrocities, for blocking aid from reaching people in need. Finally, the United States should invest far more people and resources into the government's existing efforts to broker talks. There is no quick solution to the conflict in Sudan, so there have to be more hands on deck.